What if the world you see only the surface, and the real decisions have always been made in silence? What if history, as you learned it, was only the public version, while the real story was passed quietly from one chosen mind to another? Long before governments had flags or nations had borders, humans gathered in the shadows to protect something powerful: knowledge. When survival depended on loyalty, silence became strength. That silence was not accidental, it was intentional. It was the foundation on which secret societies were built. In the earliest human communities, survival knowledge meant life or death. Which plants healed, which stars guided seasons, which rituals brought unity. This information could not be shared freely. If enemies learned it, tribes would fall. If the unprepared learned it, chaos would follow. So elders chose who was ready. Knowledge became initiation based. This was the first divide between the initiated and the uninitiated. As civilizations formed, secrecy became structured. In ancient Egypt, knowledge was sacred and hierarchical. Priests guarded astronomy, medicine, architecture, and spiritual texts that explained life, death, and rebirth. The pyramids themselves were not just tombs, but encoded messages of mathematics and cosmic order. The masses saw monuments, the inner circle saw meaning. Breaking secrecy was not just betrayal, it was an offense against the gods. In Mesopotamia and India, similar patterns appeared. Mystery schools taught select students about the universe, consciousness, and morality. These teachings were oral, symbolic, and layered, ensuring that only those who were patient and disciplined could truly understand them. Writing everything down was considered dangerous. Symbols could hide truth in plain sight. In ancient Greece, secret societies transformed secrecy into philosophy. Groups like the Eleusinian Mysteries and the Pythagoreans believed that reality had hidden laws beneath appearances. Numbers, geometry, and harmony were sacred. Members followed strict lifestyles, practiced silence, and used coded teachings. To outsiders, they were strange. To insiders, they were guardians of universal truth. As empires expanded, secrecy became protection. The Roman world was intolerant of beliefs that threatened state power. Cults and spiritual groups were forced underground. Early Christians used symbols like the fish to identify each other. Mithraic followers met in hidden chambers. Secrecy was no longer optional, it was survival. During the Middle Ages, secrecy shifted again. Knowledge itself became dangerous. Questioning religious authority or royal power could mean execution. Scholars, alchemists, and mystics formed hidden networks to preserve forbidden ideas. At the same time, trade guilds protected practical knowledge. Stonemasons, builders, and craftsmen used signs and passwords to ensure that skills remained within trusted circles. From these guilds emerged symbolic brotherhoods. Freemasonry transformed physical labor into moral philosophy. Tools became metaphors for self-improvement. Secrecy was no longer just about hiding skills, it was about shaping character. Rituals created loyalty, hierarchy created order, and symbols created unity across borders. As monarchies tightened control, secret societies became safe spaces for revolutionary ideas. Enlightenment thinkers used private gatherings to discuss liberty, equality, and reason. These ideas were explosive. Groups like the Rosicrucians and later the Illuminati believed society could be transformed by changing how people think. Their secrecy wasn't about darkness, it was about protection from suppression. When authorities cracked down on these groups, something unexpected happened. Fear turned them into legends. The more they were banned, the more powerful they seemed. Rumors replaced facts, symbols became conspiracies. Secrecy amplified influence far beyond reality. But secret societies were not only about politics or philosophy, they fulfilled a deep psychological need. Being chosen creates identity. Rituals create belonging. Oaths create purpose. In a confusing world, secret societies offered structure, meaning, and the feeling of being part of something timeless. Symbols played a crucial role: an eye, a compass, a triangle, a handshake, simple forms carrying layered meanings. To the public, they were decoration. To members, they were reminders of shared truth and shared silence. This ability to exist in two realities at once made secret societies nearly indestructible. With the rise of modern states, many traditional secret societies faded or transformed, but secrecy itself never disappeared. It evolved. Elite clubs, intelligence agencies, corporate boards, and private networks now operate on the same principles: selective access, controlled information, loyalty through trust. In the digital age, secrecy feels paradoxical. Everything seems exposed. Yet, true power has shifted from hiding meetings to controlling information. Closed groups, private algorithms, invitation only circles, these are the modern descendants of ancient secret societies. What began as survival became influence. What began as whispered knowledge became systems of power. Symbols replaced words, handshakes replaced contracts. Membership meant access to opportunities, protection, and leverage. Some societies genuinely pursued wisdom, others pursued dominance. Most existed in the gray space between. Secret societies continue to fascinate us because they reveal an uncomfortable truth. Transparency is rare, and power prefers shadows. When knowledge is restricted, it gains value. When authority is hidden, it gains fear. Whether real, exaggerated, or misunderstood, secret societies are reflections of human nature itself. If this hidden history made you question what you've been taught, that's the first step. Look closer at symbols around you. Question who controls information. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and keep digging. Because the moment you stop asking questions is the moment you accept the surface, and the real story always lives beneath it.